Hi folks, and welcome to this week's IR04 track guide at the Redbull Ring. And yeah, looking forward to this one. Really did enjoy it, to be honest. I think I do like the Redbull Ring. It has been, and I've done a number of races around here in a multitude of different cars, and I really do like a circuit. It's going to be interesting in this one though. Slipstream down to turn 3 is just powerful enough to get you in sort of the braking zone of a sort of dive bomb area. So be warned about that if you are if you do have a dude behind you. And yeah, I will explain it when we get down there. But anyway, let's gloss on with whatever we're going on here. Read the rule tab because this will tell you what you can and can't get away with off tracks and legitimate laps. So bear that in mind because that is going to be crucial around here for your lap time, using all of the track that you can. Info tab for you, track usage is at moderate, 44% is what I always use. You can see that the setup does say question mark, question mark, question mark. It was the identical to the Spielberg setup. This track comes under the Spielberg name in the iRacing setup, so that's the one I did load, so that's the one I'm using. Track temp nice and toasty, 103 Fahrenheit degrees will be above my head, and the lap I'm going to show you is going to be my fastest lap because I knew it was possible at this point. You can see here I did a 32 dead, and then I did a 32.3 and a 32 dead here again and a 32.5, and I thought there is a 31 in here somewhere. So last couple of laps, you know, absolutely trying to pin it, and I did a 31.506. So that's the lap I'm going to show you. It was by far the cleanest, by far utilized all of the track usage. So that is the one I'm going to show you. So normally I don't, sometimes I show you the fastest, sometimes I don't, but that by far is the cleanest lap I have done. Otherwise, above my head, you should see my Discord where the OLAP, Billiap, telemetry and replay file will all be there. So you can see exactly how I've done it, and you can see my throttle traces and everything, and you can take photos or do what you want with it to improve your driving. Also a Google Docs of my previous track guides that I've done in season order of everything I've ever done, so you can find it on there nice and easy. Other screen will be how I get into these sessions, so I try and make them as accurate as I can. Obviously these are pre-recorded, so I use the iRacing UI to make sure the date's right, the time's right, the track conditions are as accurate as it can be for the race session itself, so you should go into it as spot on as we can. Otherwise, nothing waffling, let's crack on with it. Right, Redbull Ring, and what a fantastic little circuit this is. Really do enjoy it around here, and I am enjoying the IR04. So fingers crossed we should have a good week. But we're hunting for turn 1, and we're looking for the 100-meter board, and just after it, probably about the 80-meter mark, we are standing on the brakes. It's uphill braking zone, so really do crank on the brakes here. Miss this yellow curb here. It is a horrible little bump, and it will send your car wide and possibly cause damage. You can use the yellow sausage curb on the left-hand side to straighten up the car, but do not run wide on exit. There is a slowdown, and a slowdown on the straight will cost you an enormous amount of time, so bear that in mind. Slipstream will be a thing up to turn 3, so bear that in mind. I stay in 5th gear. Yeah, no point changing up into 6th, so I just stay in 5th for this one. If I got a bit of slipstream, maybe 6th will be good there. So again, 100-meter board, we are uphill braking zone again, really heavy. 2nd gear for this one, nice and easy on the way in. Give that curb a little cheeky tickle on the way through, but ease that power in. It's very easy to get oversteer here and face the wrong direction, and also don't run wide again like turn 1. There is an off track out there, so be mindful of that. Bring the car over to the right hand side weirdly because it gives you the best straight line for the braking zone down into turn 4 now, and be careful because this is a downhill braking zone, so it's very, very easy to lock a brake. So just at the 100-meter board, probably slightly before it, heavy on the brakes at first, then ease off nicely. 3rd gear for this one, give the apex curb a little cheeky tickle as you go past. Don't cut it too much, you will bottom out the car, but be mindful of the exit here. That gravel trap does arrive quite early on that curb, so don't run too far wide. Get a good exit, and now we are preparing for the double left-hander now, and at the 50-meter board we are standing on the brakes. Don't use too much entry curb, there is an off track, and ease the car in. A little bit of throttle to give some weight over the rear axle now, just to prevent spinning. This is another opportunity to spin because it is kind of off-cambered corner. Use a bit of the exit curb, but again, don't go any more than what the rule tab says to do so. At the end of the curb, we are standing on the brakes again, and then straight back on the throttle. We're trying to keep the rear end in check. A little bit of curve through here because the camber's working with us, and we can run nicely wide here. Again, use the green and white curb, not any more than that, and it is an off track. Good opportunity for an overtake down here if you do get a good run out of that corner, because we're preparing for the double right-hander of the final 2 corners. These corners are very fast, and you can't really gain a lot of time, but you can lose a lot of time. So be mindful of that. Make sure you're confident going through here. So at the 50-meter board, just before it, we are slightly turning into the corner, and then we're a slight brake into the apex. Give the curb a little cheeky tickle, and all I'm doing here is trying not to run too far wide. So I can be here, that's fine. Any more is off track and slow down territory, so be mindful of that. Brake nice and early. All I'm doing is making sure I get as close to that yellow sausage curve on the apex as I can and not run too far wide here to get a good exit. Getting a good exit will help, as will turn 1, because it is on leading onto a very long straight. So if you leave a tenth quicker out of there, you're carrying that tenth and more all the way down the straight. So bear that in mind. But that is us across the line in a 1:31.506. As I mentioned, really looking forward to going racing around here. I enjoyed Donington very much, and I'm fingers crossed I'm going to enjoy this one as well. Bear in mind the overtaken places down at turn 3 and turn 4. That'll be the main opportunity for dive bombs into there, so be mindful of that. Otherwise, like and subscribe and do that lovely YouTube stuff, and I'll catch you on the next one.